Hello and welcome to another episode of the Chrissie Mayr podcast. We are on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, and SoundCloud. And if you're listening to us on iTunes right now, go ahead and leave us a 5-star review. I appreciate all the reviews that you guys are sending. I'm going to be doing some stand-up leading up to my very first album recording. That will be on at Governors in Levittown. Check it out. I'm so excited to do that. And I feel like I've been in stand up 10, 11 years now. So it feels like a long time coming. I'm really stoked to tape this album and doing a bunch of dates leading up to that. This Saturday, December 11th, I will be with the Comedians of the Compound at Tiff's in Morris Plains, New Jersey. That's also known as the Dojo of Comedy. And then December 12th, I'll be headlining the Hartford Funny Bone in Hartford, Connecticut. December 13th, I'll be heading to Arkansas to headline the Little Rock Looney Bin, and then heading back to Texas with Anthony Cumia and Aaron Berg. We're going to be at Hyenas in Dallas, December 15th and 16th. Also, we're going to be doing some appearances at the Blaze. So look out for us there. To get tickets, go to my website, ChrissieMayr.com, or check out any of the club websites. Want to do a shout out to a couple of the show sponsors. Guys, I've collaborated with Silk City Hot Sauce. This has been such a long time coming, but here it finally is. Nightmare. Go to Levinsky'sTopShelf.com. Use the promo code CMP. I think these are like only $10, but you'll get a couple dollars off if you use the code CMP. It's very delicious with eggs. It's very delicious with tacos. You don't want to just throw it back. You got to put it on stuff. Also, I've got fun shirts for sale. Go to tpublic.com. The holidays are almost here, which means you need to have yourself a Mayor Chrissy Miss shirt. That's right. I love puns. Or if you're feeling patriotic, get yourself a Make America Great Again. And if you have ideas for puns, t-shirt puns, let me know. Always happy to hear them. Okay, guys, very excited to bring on this gal. She is a political commentator. She's a YouTuber. You've seen her on Newsmax, Fox, and Friends. We're going to get into so many interesting topics. A little bit of her origin story. I am so excited to bring to this show Charisse Lane. How are you, Charisse?
I'm good, and I'm just happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy you're here too. We're both exhausted, so that's good. We're coming into this with the same energy. Although I feel
Yes.
like you've been busier. I was looking at a video of you doing squats, and I was like, that's it. I need to get to the gym because I've always been using it's so easy to use the excuse of like, well, I'm busy. Well, I have 3 recordings today. Well, I'm working, but it's
Yes.
good for you. Like, what do you tell yourself on the days that you're exhausted? How do you just get
That
yourself?
what actually motivates me is I want to be married in the future with kids. So I think of my health and how I want my health to be at the top of its game when I get married, and I want to be used to working out even after I have kids. I want to be able to go back like that
You're
and be
on the
used to
bounce
working
back
out.
plan.
So
Yeah.
so I'm building up to that now, and also my current health, and because I want to tone up and just look better. So
Good for
yes.
you. Good for you, because a lot of people don't have these thoughts until it's like around springtime. I think May is when a lot of people are like, I need to start working out. But then it's
Yeah.
too late and you can't have your hot girl summer until maybe the next year. So maybe I'm going to get on the Charisse plan. I'm going to start working out now, and then it's over for you
At least
guys.
3 times a week.
Okay, 3, that seems manageable. You know what? I get in my head like I need to do it every day, but I'm currently doing it no times a week. So I'm gonna do it. You've
You can do
inspired
it.
me.
You can do it.
Tell me about, what is the Revolution of One all about?
So it's a think tank, kind of a media company that I'm a part of, and I make videos for them, and I'm one of their ambassadors. It's more of like a free thinking type media company, think tank. So like they're not affiliated with one political party, but it's all about free thought and freedom of speech and things of that nature. So um, it's definitely something that I'm glad to be a part of, and yeah, just I hope everyone else engages with their content as well.
Yeah, because it just seems like it's even to ask questions is frowned upon, and I don't know if you experienced this. I know you were raised in a Christian conservative household. Did you ever have a period in your life? Because I know, I mean, I was raised Methodist, which is like, Christianity light. My parents just threw us in Sunday school and was like, all right, stop, don't give hand jobs, stay in school, kids. And then I went to college, and that's when I went way to the left, feminist, the whole deal. Hated men, just very leftist. And then it took all of my 20s and a lot of my 30s to kind of like find myself back. Did you ever have a stage like that where you felt you were a little bit like swayed?
No, I mean, there's a term in the at least the Black Christian community called backsliding. I have backslided before in my faith, but I've came back. But when it comes to like my conservatism in a whole, no, I always stuck to the values basically that I was raised with. Of course, I'm not perfect. I have made mistakes in my life, and you can always ask God for forgiveness when it comes to that. But in general, no, not really.
Good for you, because I feel like especially college is the place where
I went to a Christian college.
there you go. That's the secret. We're
And they were
figuring
so
it out.
strict.
Really, like no boys in your
Yes.
dorms or
We
like
had there's separate dorms. You couldn't go on a date without a chaperone outside of campus. Couldn't be
no
alone on
way.
campus with a guy. Yeah.
Did they tell you like we better see you in church on Sunday or
Yeah,
else?
we have to actually had to sign in with like in a form online, and that will be like our church attendance. We have to put where we went to church every
Oh,
Sunday and check in, and if we didn't, we would get demerits. They also had a demerit system as well.
oh wow. Well, see
And
that
our room had to be clean every day. They would check it. We get demerits if we don't have it clean, and there's a lot of stuff like that.
it's building a lot of good habits. Like I feel better when I make my bed, even if it's like I make it at 5 o'clock and I'm like, all right,
Yes.
well, I feel like I have a little bit of my life together, even if it's just for a couple hours. But good for you for not straying or having like a period in your life where you really kind of like went off the rails, because there's a lot of social pressure. And I think, especially now, I almost feel like that sort of high school mentality has transferred into different social groups. Like I know for sure on Facebook, there's immense pressure coming at all of us, like pressure to get jabbed, which I'm not. Woo, pure bloods in the
Me
house.
neither. Woo!
There's pressure to get jabbed. There is obviously pressure to vote for a certain person or political party, and then even when you're among that political party, there is pressure to act a certain way, um, retweet certain things. So it's got to be hard to sort of go kind of go the opposite way. Like, did you have a period of time where you feel like you lost friends because of your beliefs? Because it seems like you've been solidly, in your faith and a conscious Black conservative, for years now, and kind of you have an unshakable quality to you, which I really admire. So, did you
Thank you.
at any point like lose friends or see it like friends talking behind your back or see shitty comments online, or did you have people unfriend you throughout any of this time?
Definitely, I have friends unfriend me and online and just completely ignore me in person. I have family members talk behind my back. Even some people at church. It's just uh, it was a tough period. I would say 2018 to 2019 were those years where I was just losing like a lot of people, and I started to think to myself, is it worth it? But at the end of the day, I thought yes, it was, because I was standing for myself, standing up for myself, and stating the beliefs that I wanted to, and stating what I wanted people to understand, and like the truth. I needed the truth to get out there, so I didn't really care what people said about me, and that is what made me stronger and made me stand up and say, no, okay, I don't care if you unfriend me. I don't care if you talk behind my back. I'm going to stand up for what I want to believe in.
What ideas in particular, like, did you find you were getting, like,
Mm.
unfriended over?
It was mainly my support for Trump.
Okay.
That was like the main thing. And a lot of my family members really thought I was crazy. And a lot of my friends thought I was crazy. But now I have people coming back to me saying, you were right. I'm like, well, I knew this day was coming.
Trying not to rub it in their faces, but you want
Yes.
to a little bit.
But other things, it wasn't that bad. Of course, you're gonna have people that's gonna disagree with you on all spectrums, but it was mainly my support for Trump that really got people upset with me.
Were you on board with Trump from the beginning? Because it took me a while. It took me till like really like 2018 to come around on him because when he first was running, I was like, ew, no, but I was also not voting for Hillary either. So I was weirdly kind of unclaimed.
So yes, I supported him. I was in high school when he ran. So I started supporting him then.
Oh, you're so
I wanted
young.
to vote for him, but I was
Mhm.
a year under the age that was required for you to vote. So I supported him since then. And then the first time I voted for a president, I voted for him. So
You were sending him love from afar for a year, and
yes.
then you could vote. Good for you. Wow. I wish I cared at all about politics, at any point before, I don't know, my 30s. Like, I my whole 20s was not politically activated, and it wasn't until I saw, like, really the repercussions of free speech, free speech coming under fire and how it affected comedy and comedians. That's when I was like, "Oh, I need to start standing up for freedoms," and you just see the kind of ripple effect, and that's really great. Do you owe it to your parents for kind of, sparking that interest in you early on?
Well, I would say I inherited my stubbornness from my dad, especially.
Aw.
Me and my dad, we always go back and forth in politics. My dad is a liberal. I love him. He's a liberal though.
Oh,
So I think I got my
no.
stubbornness from him. And also, I talk about my grandparents a lot, but seeing my grandparents, especially my grandfather, he's a pastor, stand up for what he believes in, especially in the church. That definitely encouraged me. And also, he's been one of my inspirations with politics as well. I used to go over their house and watch him watch Fox News, and he used to watch the Glenn Beck show all the time.
Oh,
And I
wow.
became engaged with watching him as well.
How did he feel? Was he still an active pastor during the lockdowns? Is he still, like,
Yeah, so we
actively.
were doing a lot of Zoom calls, and now we're back at church.
Wow.
So, yeah, but
Was
yeah.
he feeling was he being very vocal about, like, was his church shut down? Because I feel like that was the first thing to be shut down was all the
It
churches,
was, but
gyms.
they were still doing lessons. Like he would do lessons and preach from his house, and we would go on Zoom and join in. So even though we weren't in the physical church, we were still engaging.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, keeping people connected. I was wondering if he was feeling like, like, screw it, we're gonna stay open. We don't care if we get in trouble because you see like like there's this one viral video. This guy, I don't remember his name, of course, but he went super viral because he was like calling the cops like the Gestapo,
Hmm.
and they were coming in to like shut down his church
I
service.
saw that.
I'm like, this guy's based. And I think he got, I think, arrested and carted away at some point, but very ballsy. So it's almost like you have to know, when to push and when to hold back because, if your grandfather was thinking like, "Look, I'm of more use to more people if I just do these, Zoom,
Right.
like, preaching Zoom
And we're
calls."
back now. We're back at
Yeah,
church now. So everything is going good with
good.
that.
That's great. Did he see, like, a dropping off? Like, did people, were they a little bit
Yes,
less
our church is
active?
already small, so some people are still like doing Zoom from home, but pretty much everybody has come back. It's a really small church, like a family church. Like half of the church is my family, and the other half is family members with each other, and it's people I grew up with. But it's a really tight knit community that we have that I appreciate.
That's so important. I feel like there are so many, and I even more so, like, I just turned 38 and I look back on like my 30s and 20s and I'm just like, wow, there is so much coming at women like from such a young age. Like I notice so often like the ways in which being alone is glamorized. Like I notice it in different commercials. I notice it with certain marketing. Like I don't know. I feel like that's a big trend right now is glamorizing this idea of like women staying alone, like even there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like we all go through breakups, we need be time, we need, sometimes you get out of an abusive thing, you need time to yourself. But like I have seen so much like, you know, under the guise of like self-care, under the guise of like you time, under the guise of like I don't know, like and then I think back to like my kind of feminist training and it's like you don't need anybody. It's like but it's like we do need one
We
another. We
do.
like I never felt more, like, balanced than when I met my current boyfriend, and I'm like, "Oh, wow," like, he, like, seriously balances me out, and it's okay to need someone, it's okay, and I feel like that's something that you get shamed for, saying like, "Oh, I need a man," or "I
Yes.
want a boyfriend," or "I want," even you saying like you want to start a family. I'm sure you have friends that would be like, "Ugh," and like that's not cool.
I
Or
talk about femininity on Twitter sometimes, and people label me a pick me, but I don't care because at the end of the day, pick me's get picked. The only reason I don't have a boyfriend is because I do have certain standards that I want in a man, and so the type of guys who are interested in right now is not really what I'm interested in. So honestly, I could do the picking, but
yeah,
I'm choosing to wait on what God has for me right now. So
good.
I'm
Well,
single. I mean, it's hard sometimes because it's cuffing, like as people say, cuffing season,
well,
Christmas time.
it's your
You
baby.
wanna,
Time to find somebody. It's
yes.
coming. You need to find somebody with a generator, with a lot of food stored up. We don't know what's gonna
I
happen.
need some help too. It's not easy in this economy.
Oh yeah, we got Charise's Cash App scrolling by
Uh,
if you want to throw her some dollars, or even better, Charisse, I have a lot of male listeners, so if any of them are you're in the Orlando area,
yeah.
what are you looking for in a man right now?
I'm looking for somebody who is God-fearing, family-oriented, who's hardworking, who can take care of his wife and his kids, who will be more than open to having his wife stay home and care for the family, because that's something that I want to do, and I didn't experience my mom really being able to do that. So that's something I want to do. I want to like still be a political commentator, but also stay home and take care of my family. I don't want to work for anyone else except for my family. So somebody who has the funds to fund that. Also, I'm not I'm a little bit bougie, so I do like to shop and get
Ooh,
my
okay,
makeup
what do
done
you
and my
like?
hair
What
done.
are your splurges?
Makeup, hair, I love getting clothes at the mall, but I love getting makeup, especially like I love just doing my makeup. And one thing I love is perfumes. I love Bond Number 9 perfume.
Ooh, I haven't
Bond
smelled
Number
that
9
one.
and Lancome La Vie is Belle.
You know what? I was never a perfume girl until maybe 2 years ago. It was obviously pre-pandemic. I was, like, in Grand Central Station, like, near where I get the train to go home, and I started sniffing the air like a dog, and then I was like, "What is that smell?" I followed a woman onto the train, like, it wasn't even my train. I was like, "I have to make sure I am not stuck on this thing going to a town I don't live
Mhm.
in," and I was like, I went right I sat, like, behind the woman, I was like and then I was, like, waiting, and then I was like, "I'm sorry, what smell are you wearing?" And she told me it was, God, I can't remember. I think it was, like I know you're not supposed to tell people your perfume, but I have to for the story. So she's like, "I'm wearing
What did she say
450 or
she's wearing?
something." Oh,
Something
Baccarat
for who?
Rouge
Oh.
450.
Ooh.
And I was like, "Oh my god, I can't even pronounce that. It must be good."
Mhm.
And, I was like, "Where do you get it?" She's like, "I think it's," and she said Barney's, and then I panicked. I'm like, "That sounds expensive, fuck." Uh, so, like, I had, like, somebody I worked for, years ago gave it to me for, a Christmas present, but I'm about to run out, so I have to
Mhm.
start saving up to get it up. And
Yeah.
and I was not into caring about perfumes until I smelled this woman. I was like and then I went nuts. I was like, "I must have this." So
But I'm just not getting into perfume, so I love perfume, clothes, makeup. I haven't really gotten into like jewelry yet,
you're a
but
girl, girl. Are you a Libra?
no, I don't really believe in the signs, but I do know my sign. I'm an Aries,
Okay.
April 9th. I don't really believe in like the astrology and all that, but I do know at least my sign. I really don't know what it means to be an Aries, but
I mean, I agree. I was in a very big astrology place for a while, and it's like you can't rely on that stuff too heavily because I feel
right.
like at a point it does a little bit. It can
Mm-mm.
get you further away from God, and then you're relying too much on I mean, growing up, I just read a lot of self-help books, and then I had a friend that was like, if you read Proverbs in the Bible, that's all self-help." And I was like, "What? It's been here this whole
Yeah.
time? This crusty book my grandma had hundreds of copies of?" Like, that's you know so that was a cool revelation.
Yeah.
But Aries, from what I've read, is that they're good leaders. What is it? A fire sign. So, feisty. I dated an Aries once. He broke up with me over
Oh
Skype.
Lord. Over Skype.
Over Skype.
No. Uh-uh.
I'm
I
over it.
haven't really had too many boyfriends, honestly.
'Cause you're picky. You're like, "It's good. You
Yeah.
gotta know what you like." Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good, and you're young, and it's like, I feel like you're in the manifesting stage right now.
Yes, actually I am. I am.
I've had multiple girlfriends who, like, for a couple years would talk about their dream guy, and then both of them, no joke, this guy just popped up for them, and it was exactly what both of them had always talked about wanting, so just, like, stay focused on that. All that stuff
Right.
really, really works.
There's a song I listen to in this. I don't know if you ever heard of the artist India Ari, but I listen to a
Yeah!
song. I listen to a song by her called "The Truth," and I play that every day to basically speak into the atmosphere, the type of men that I want. And so that's like my favorite song now because it really speaks on the type of man I want in my life. And I encourage every woman to go listen to that song, "The Truth" by India Ari.
Yes. Okay, yeah, Kayla's like, "We're putting the man in manifesting." That's so
That's
true.
catchy.
I wish I had been a little bit in my youth, a little bit pickier. Like, I love who I'm with now, but I feel like I didn't need to make as many mistakes as I did
I'm
early
making
on.
my mistakes now too. I haven't been in a lot of relationships, but I have been in a lot of situationships. I'm pretty much done with those.
Situationships? That's
I'm
so
fed up with
cute.
situationships. I'm fed up because I feel like the situationships hurt worse than when you're breaking up in an actual relationship. Because my last relationship, it didn't hurt that bad as the situationship that I was in.
Wow, because you don't plan on getting
Heartbreak.
attached, and then you're like, "Ugh."
Oh,
But you know what, Charisse? I think you're in the I mean, sort of being in this, like, political commentating, like, conservative space, I think that's the best way to meet somebody. I mean, like,
hopefully.
I don't know if you're familiar with, like, Olivia Rondeau and Patriot
That's
J,
that's like
and they're
that's almost my bestie. So
oh
yeah,
my god,
we're very close.
I love them both, and they like, I knew them separately, and then all of a sudden, like, they started dating, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
this relationship, like, was birthed out of Twitter." It was, like, the most
Yeah.
amazing thing, so I feel
I
like
knew
you're up
about them
next.
before everybody else. So
You did?
yeah.
Oh, because 'cause you're tight with Olivia?
Yes,
She
I've known
spilled the
her
beans?
since 2018. So
Oh,
we're pretty
wow.
like tight.
Did she was she kind of into this space before you, or did you both kind of get into it at the same time?
We both kind of got into it at the same time. I know she was doing like wrestling at her school,
Yeah.
and when we had first met, she was in the middle of graduating high school. So I know we first met at I don't affiliate with his organization anymore, but we first met at a TPUSA event,
Okay.
and the rest is history.
Did something happen or you just wanted to be, like, a free agent?
There's a lot of people in the organization that kind of slandered my name, and just didn't want to be affiliated with them anymore, and I did not want to see them at any event, so I distanced myself.
Well, that sucks. I, was dismayed when I heard, this was, like, I guess a couple months ago, they kind of shat on, like, Brandy Love, who is an adult film star, but she showed up to an event.
She got banned, like she got kicked out, right?
She got kicked out, and
Yeah,
she wasn't there in, like, a bikini handing out cards, you know, she was very professional, and she's a huge patriot. She's, like, written for the Federalist. She's not a flake. She's not, like, some floozy, but that I lost a little bit of respect for them after they did that, so that sucks, though. I mean, yeah, it's good for you for stepping
yeah,
aside. Yeah, sometimes the more people I talk to, the more it's like, "Oh, I was really into the libertarian group," and then someone talks shit, and it's like, you feel like you wanna be a part of a group, but then it's also
yeah.
great to be yourself and just stay open-minded.
Mhm.
Okay, I have a lot of questions for you. Let's see. Okay. What does being a conscious Black conservative mean to you?
Right. So first, I want to really explain what a conservative means to me. Conservatism is based on values, and those values to me are being hardworking, being dedicated, putting your family first, putting God first, personal responsibility, not depending on government, and believing in life. So, with those values, I would say a lot of Black Americans historically have those values. And so, when you are a conservative, a Black conservative, and in a conscious Black conservative, you are conscious of what your community is going through, but you're also conservative. You don't push your community's concerns aside. And I hate when a lot of conservatives say, oh, Black people need to stop acting like victims, or Black people need to get out the Democrat plantation. You don't say those type of things to Black people in America because, first of all, you have to understand the history and what we have been through in this country and why some people act the way they act. You have to understand the background. Then you have to have a sort of empathy with Black Americans and literally just have a sit down and talk with us about why we feel the way we feel then come up with solutions and policies to combat why we feel the way we feel and to combat our problems. So a conscious Black conservative is one who is a conservative but also cares about the community's concerns and doesn't push the community's concerns aside.
How does voting Democrat harm Black Americans, in your opinion?
It harms us because a lot of Democratic policies have been historically anti-Black, especially when it comes to a lot of immigration policies. Immigration hurts Black Americans the most because it's like these people are coming in and taking a lot of the opportunities that we want and that we're asking for, and it's being given to them. Also, a lot of Democrats are for Planned Parenthood and abortion. And I believe that if you're for Planned Parenthood and abortion, you're anti-Black because those things are historically racist towards Black Americans. Those are the two main reasons. But the Democratic Party was the party that was for slavery as well. And the Republican Party was originally an abolitionist party. So that's one of the main reasons that I believe that people shouldn't vote Democrat. I don't judge people for voting a certain way though, because I am a registered Republican. So I will vote Republican sometimes. It just has to be based on the values as well. What kind of value set does that candidate have or that person running, and does that value set match up with my value set?
And why don't you think more Black Americans like know the things that you know? Like I was fascinated too to learn, like when I started doing a deeper dive into Planned Parenthood and the history of Margaret
Sanger.
I keep saying Margaret Thatcher, but she's like a prime minister, and I don't want her to take the heat. Looking into like specifically where the first Planned Parenthoods were popping up, and I saw your video with when you're talking about like the liberal agenda to sterilize black mothers, and I was like, oh, I gotta talk to this girl. Like she's so with it. Like that's a whole other rabbit hole. And I think God, and my feelings on abortion have changed so much over the last few years.
Yes. And it's just crazy to me how they sometimes, well, I want to say sometimes, all the time, they specifically target Black women, especially when it comes to their messaging on social media. And there was a tweet that they put out, I forgot what it said, but it was basically saying how Black mothers are basically at risk when it comes to pregnancies. And just like, why is
Wow.
Planned Parenthood tweeting this? Of course, those statistics are probably right, but what does it have to do with abortion? Do you want us to abort our kids because we're more at risk? I really don't understand. And also, why is there so many abortion clinics in the Black community? It's like they want to get rid of us. They want our population to decrease. They don't want us to be here. And I just think if you support abortion, if you support Planned Parenthood, you're anti-Black because you are believing in the decreasing of the Black community.
Yeah, and Planned Parenthood was founded kind of on the basis of eugenics, which is so like creepy to learn because like when you're young, when you're a teenager, like Planned Parenthood is cool. It's like when
it
you're
was
first
never cool to me.
Oh, well, like you were raised right. But it was like, oh, if you have an oopsie, you don't have to tell your parents, or if you want to get birth control, you don't have to. I mean, thank God I never had a close call. I never had an abortion, thank God, because that's my girlfriends who have had to make that decision. It's not one that they took lightly, and it's
Right.
I know that it probably still bothers them to this day, but it's seen as like this, oh, it's part of being an adult. Like you don't need your parents. You can just go to Planned Parenthood and like get your birth control or get condoms or whatever. And maybe that's something
and
that
it's good to like be safe, but at the same time, as a child, I don't think you should be engaging in any of that. And I consider a teenager a child. Like you shouldn't be engaging in any of that. Stay a child. Stay in a child's place. Be a child. Enjoy your life as a child.
absolutely, like
It just comes with a lot of responsibility, that life. So
yeah,
like if you're going to delve into that life, you need to take responsibility for all of your actions.
right. And once you become sexually active, you're not gonna like pull back and then you know what I mean. It's like that's it. You're just gonna keep going, and you only have so many years. Like truly, as a child, to not worry about those responsibilities.
Right.
So it's sad. Like, how are you noticing, like in terms of maybe like marketing or like kind of like online ads, or just I don't know if you notice trends like in music or just overall, like what are you sensing like the forces around you are sort of pushing you to right, like whether it's stay single or don't have kids, don't get married, like where are you feeling this pressure from?
Exactly that. There's a lot of people who are pushing this feminist agenda that, ooh, especially the community I'm coming from. We do have a tight knit families, but there are also some people who, the black feminists especially, who are saying, oh, you don't need a man. I'm a strong, independent black woman, and stupid stuff like that. When I don't want to be a strong, independent black woman. Stop calling me that. I need a man. Like, I
You're like,
need
"I
a
wanna be
man.
strong
It's
and have a
not
boyfriend."
easy. It is
Yeah.
not easy being single. I need that help, you know? I need that support. I need that emotional support, and I want to be somebody's emotional support as well and be there for them. It's not easy being single, and I can imagine having a child and being single as well. It's just 10 times worse, 10 times harder. Of course, you do have that help with your family members, and you do have that help if you want to maybe put your child up for adoption, but it is not easy being single as a woman. It's not, and I don't encourage it for anybody. I will say I am trying to be content in my singleness now, because again, I'm trying to wait on the one God has for
He's
me
coming.
and really
He's on the
trusting
way.
Him.
He's
Yes, and
listening to
I'm
this
putting it into the
podcast right now.
atmosphere. I'm putting it into the atmosphere that God is going to send somebody that matches my value set, that matches my vision for what I have for my future. But it's hard at the same time, you know.
Are you on the apps?
I
You
wasn't.
swiping?
I, I'm on. Okay, I don't know really put this out there, but I just got back on Hinge. But I think I'm going to get off. I'm in like I have like a dating coach or whatever, and she suggested that I get Hinge. But
Oh, is that
I'm
helpful,
gonna.
having a dating coach?
I just got it. I just got her,
Okay.
so she's just teaching me ways to do better, and what kind of standards, what kind of standards I should and shouldn't have, and the more boundaries that I could use when it comes to dating, even though I'm not really dating now. But I think I'm going to delete the app, because I got off the app for a reason. It said it's an app to be deleted or whatever, or app, yeah, something like
Oh,
that.
okay.
But
Like you're not supposed to have it
uh
forever. Yeah.
the rest of these apps, that's like the best dating app. The rest of these apps
Yeah,
suck eggs.
it can get distracting, and I feel like at the end of the day, it comes down to, like, your vibe and how the energy that you get in person, and it's hard to discern that just from swiping on photos. I feel like that just delays the process of, like, sussing somebody out, and, like, every serious boyfriend I've had, I happened to meet in person just kind of
Yeah,
randomly.
I want to meet it naturally. I want the story of my grandparents. Well, they knew each other when they were like, they knew each
Oh.
other when they were little, but they started to notice each other when my grandfather used to work in a grocery store, and my grandma would go get her
Oh,
favorite chips, her Frito-Lay chips.
and
And
then
then
she got
just
Frito
said,
Laid. No. That's
she
so
just
cute,
said,
though. I like
one
that
day she
story.
noticed my grandfather, and he started to look handsome to her. She said that he started to look fine, but she didn't want to say that on camera.
Oh. How old
So,
was she when she met him?
well, I think they were. I don't remember the age, but I just know that they were always like kind of known each other from when they were little. And
Yeah.
he called her the girl across the railroad track.
Oh, see, that's so sweet. Like, things were so simple back then. Like, you had,
Yes,
like you'd find, like, the one cute boy in town, and you'd be like, "Let's do this. Like, let's buy a house." You know? You wouldn't be
yes.
like, "I have to
I have an
find
interview
myself."
coming out with them as well on Friday. I interviewed them.
Ooh.
It's going to be their 56th wedding anniversary on Friday. So if you guys
Oh,
want to watch that and engage, I
yes.
interviewed them and asked them questions about their life from when they were younger to now. So
And that's on your YouTube channel.
yes, it's going to be out on Friday.
What was something you learned from them that you didn't know going into it?
Oh, I didn't know that my grandfather, when like before he went off to Vietnam, he actually got married 2 days before he went off to Vietnam. And then
Whoa.
he left, and then my grandma had to basically hold down the house and wait for him for almost 2 years.
Whoa. Wow, that's not
And they used
easy.
to write love letters to each other and stuff when he was
See,
in
that's so
Vietnam.
sweet. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I need a notebook situation. And, like, my grandma had the best story too with how she met my grandfather. Like, they met in a store. Like my I think the grandfather was, like, worked in the clothing store. He was, like, folding socks, and that was it. And then she just showed up, and, like, she was younger, he was older. I think he was, like, 8 years older. He was just It was just folding shirts and, she was, like, barely out of high school, and she just got snatched up.
It's like it's so simple back then. Now it's just people are just so
Yeah,
difficult.
nobody was whispering in Mildred's ear, "You don't need a man." She was like, "I do. I barely graduated high school. I definitely need a man." Aw, that's neat. Maybe that's coming back, though.
Hopefully. I
So,
don't know.
okay, so I'm imagining you have a problem with, most of the kind of, like, the mainstream music and, like, do you feel like the messages are very damaging, or do you feel like people are tuning them out for the most part?
They're damaging. I believe that every type of music has either a high level of frequency or low level of frequency, and I try to listen to higher frequency of music these days. So really violent music or music, really sexual music, that's really low frequency music. I mean, unless you're like using it when you're like intimate with
For
your
a
significant other or
specific
something.
reason.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a time and place for everything, and I don't think we should be listening to all of that, especially like around your kids when it's not the right time, right, and not the right place.
For sure, kids are like sponges and, like, they're very sensitive to energy. Like, people say, "Oh, you can curse, you can yell in front of your kids." They don't know what words mean yet. It's like, no, they pick up on that. So,
Yeah,
I'm I agree all about that, like, and you don't realize it, and you're like, "Oh, this is just what's popular, this is what's playing, this is what my friends all like," and it's like, that stuff can kinda suck the life out of you. I
it
don't know.
can.
Make you
I
low vibe.
realized that. That's why I made a high frequency playlist for whenever I get sad or whenever I'm
Oh,
depressed or something. I turn that on and I play it all night. Or I listen to like worship because I'm a Christian, so I listen to worship music, or I listen to meditation music. And it definitely helps.
it does. The car I'm driving right now used to belong to a priest, and he left all his CDs
Oh
in, like, the
wow.
visor on the top, and I play this fun game where I just pull out a random CD, and I put it in the CD player, and so far, it's been pretty much just choir music.
Wow.
Um, yeah.
You need to listen to some gospel. I need to put you on to some gospel
I
music.
knew, I do. I need to get and, like, I went to a Cracker Barrel and I had to buy the Mariah Carey Christmas album
Oh
because
my
I haven't
goodness.
bought a CD in so long, but I've been listening to that pretty hardcore last couple weeks, but I'm getting into CDs again in my
Yes.
Priest mobile, and then there's a Keep the Christ and Christmas sticker on the back. I'm like, "I'm leaving this," you know what I
Keep
mean?
the
Like,
Christ at Christmas. That's cute.
I'm like, "Oh, it's relevant now."
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, I love music. I
It's
just
it
love
it
music.
it's very powerful. I forget
Yes.
sometimes, like, if I'm feeling a little down, like, yeah, just put on some tunes. Take a bath. Put your
Right.
feet up.
Yeah, I listen to meditation music. I like meditate when I do my baths as well. And I listen to meditation music.
There we go, yeah. Thank you for the super chat, that Trini Gamer. "Hey, just simping for Charisse. Saw you a while ago, on Talking to Kev on stage a while ago. Looking good, girl. Glad to see you're still doing your
Thank
thing.
you.
This is what I'm talking about. You look what you manifested. Maybe
Thank
he can
you.
send you a private DM."
Send me a cash out first and then send me a
Send me
DM.
send me $10 with your phone number.
Yes.
That's
I
good.
wouldn't mind that.
That would be good. Yeah, somebody in the chat called you a unicorn, that it won't be hard for you to find a man because you're
Somebody said
gorgeous.
that?
Yes.
Oh.
Let me pull it
Oh,
up.
thank you.
I gotta pull up this comment. Do, 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 do. Yeah, it won't be hard because you're a unicorn. Wait. Oh, here we go. From Michael Quaid. He's one of my boys. Guys, she's a unicorn. She shouldn't have any problem finding a great guy willing for her to be feminine, stay at home life. But I think he meant wife. Maybe,
Yes,
maybe,
probably.
maybe Michael Quaid, if you're interested. I don't know the relationship status of a lot of my listeners, but a lot of them are men. That I do know. I know it's like
Mine
90%
too.
dudes.
Like
See?
70%.
There you go. Okay. Um, it's interesting because I noticed, I saw on your timeline, I think it was one of your tweets, that you do support Black Americans, that they should get reparations, which I
Yes.
find not a lot of, like, Black conservatives or Black Republicans
Right.
agree with that. So that is interesting. Why do you feel that way?
I feel that way because first of all, this is something that the American government has been promising to us for a while and they still haven't delivered on it. They have given reparations to Pacific Islanders, to Asians, who else, to Native Americans. And even now the
Illegals
Biden
crossing the
administration,
border.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Biden administration is promising reparations to illegal immigrants, but we brought up reparations and he basically ignored it. So it's just like all of these people groups are getting reparations, and yet Black Americans, the very people who had a hand in building this country, we're not getting anything. And I just think it's very unfair. A lot of conservatives say, oh, white people don't owe Black people money or no people Black people reparations. This doesn't have anything to do with white people. It has everything to do with the American government. And if we're going to be challenging the American government, we need to challenge them on all spectrums. And so that means cut the check. Martin Luther King talked about reparations, and he said, cut us our check. Where's our check? And a lot of conservatives don't talk about Martin Luther King's stance on reparations. He was for reparations.
And you feel like, maybe you guys would have, I don't know. It's the fact that the government has mentioned so many times that they were going to deliver that you now expect that, maybe
Yes.
if they hadn't been bringing it up so many times,
It's
you
a
wouldn't be
huge
like,
wealth gap as well that I think is necessary. We get reparations. A lot of Black Americans, we don't have generational wealth. We we don't have that experience with generational wealth. So I think that the reparations is very important.
could help to like try to start establish that. And what
Yes.
do you think, like, how would this go down if the government was going to embark on this? Like, who would get reparations? Like, how would should they try to figure out like who would be traced back to having like slave ties? Like, how would that, what would the
Right.
process
I know
be like?
you can visit it's a website called ADOS101.com that really explains it, but I'm going to try to explain it to the best of my ability. I know for sure that at least one of your parents has to be Black American, and at least one set of grandparents as well. So my mom is Black American, my dad is Jamaican, but I was raised on my mom's side, my Black American side. So I've experienced more of the Black American experience. So my grandparents are ADOS stands for American Descendants of Slaves. They are ADOS, or Foundation of Black Americans, FBA, and so is my mother. And I know for sure my grandparents before, because we're all in Orlando now, so before both of their sides originated or migrated to Orlando, one of the sides is from Georgia and another side is from South Carolina. And I know those are the main places that slavery happened, Georgia and South Carolina. So yeah, I know
So
I qualify for reparations, and it would definitely help. It would definitely help me establish some type of generational wealth. Because again, it's not easy right now. I'm still trying to figure out how to create that generational wealth for my future kids and my future family.
are you working full time right now, or just doing like
I'm
the
working
political
part time
commentary?
with I do get paid a little bit with the ambassador job that I have, and I did have another job. I had a 9 to 5. I was a receptionist at a luxury car rental company, but I quit that job because they just don't know how to treat people. And I just kind of got sick of being pushed around, and they were starting to cut my hours, and I wasn't getting paid enough.
Uh,
So I'm looking for another job currently, but it's just like I have all of these things going on now, and I really don't know what my schedule is going to be like for this month. So I don't know if I should apply this month or when January comes, because I don't know what kind of opportunities are going to come. If I would have still had that job as a receptionist, I don't know if I would have been able to be on Fox, because they would have said, no, you need to come
true.
into work.
True. I feel you. It's so hard. Like, I've been doing stand up for like 10 years, and like I've almost always, until recently, always had a 9 to 5 job, and it is
It's
so hard.
hard.
You have to be so creative, and I feel you. I've been a receptionist for many years, and it's like it's definitely demeaning work. Like, there were so many times I was like, I could see why girls sell pictures of their butthole, because I would feel better about myself than having to answer these phones and like yell at this
Right.
dude. But
I
yeah,
want a
it's
sugar daddy, but I just can't, because the sugar daddies want sugar, and
true. I know, and I
just
always I never felt like I could quit, because I was like, the last thing I wanna do is ask my parents for money. I just had, like, I don't know, I just couldn't
I
do it, so
know.
but
I'm
it's
looking for
hard.
something now. I'm still contemplating, but I think I do want to start my own business. I love doing makeup, so I want to maybe be a makeup artist on the side, but it's still kind of iffy, because I'm like, okay, what if someone wants their makeup done and I have an opportunity to do an interview or something at that time? But I can't make my own schedule. I've
Yeah.
also thought about modeling. I don't know how to get into that really. I'm thinking of doing a portfolio, making a portfolio. And I'm thinking about trying out for, I don't know, we're gonna see. But I'm thinking about trying out for Miss USA. So
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
gonna
I
try
can.
for Miss Florida, but they don't want you to have an opinion though. They don't want you
What?
to have an opinion on anything like political or anything. And that's
Really?
basically, yeah, that's basically what my whole platform is.
But I feel
So
like I don't know. I feel like they would want someone with a different opinion. Like, and then maybe I could connect you with Karen Turk because she was Mrs. Florida 2016.
was she
Uh,
Miss Florida USA or
she
just
was
Miss?
Mrs. Florida.
Um,
I don't know the
well, I
difference.
need some coaching and stuff and all that. But I applied. I applied like 2 days ago to Miss Florida USA. Hopefully, I get a chance. I don't really have any training on how to really walk or how to be proper in that, but I am kind of bougie, so it
You
does
can learn
fit
all
me.
that. You can learn yeah, you can learn all that stuff. I would just say, like, yeah, like, apply to as many do everything, right? Apply to as many jobs as you can because I know that's what I did for years. I just took whatever job, like, jobs I've hated, like, working in a title insurance company. I worked there for 8 months. I didn't even know what title insurance was, like, by the time I was leaving, but I just was like, I don't know. I always, just yeah, I would say get something and then, when you do get that opportunity, then deal with it like when it comes, just like use that for a vacation day or use that for a doctor's appointment. Like you just um kind of just like put it all out there and cast a
Yes.
wide net. Yeah, because if I totally have been in your shoes where you're like, "Oh, what about this? What about that?" And then you end up like not making any moves. So just like
It's like
start
I'm
from
making moves right now, but I'm not really making money. So I'm really trying to figure out what can I do to make some money but still pursue my dreams. And
yeah.
I'm really thinking about starting my own business. Hopefully that will work out because I really do like doing makeup.
Yeah, I think that could be pretty easy to do, like, to buy your like, get your own set of brushes, and I think just, like, just to even you could do, like, makeup tutorials on Instagram or on YouTube, like, you could even create, like, a separate page for that, and then I imagine, yeah, you just put out, like, in your local area, whether it's, like, Facebook Marketplace or, like, wherever you would,
Yes.
like, advertise, and then, yeah, just, like, I think, yeah, do it all. Why not?
And I'm not even a makeup artist yet, and I'm doing my best friend's makeup December 18th, and I'm doing somebody else's makeup December 24th.
There you
So it's
go.
like the demand is there. People want me to do their makeup,
Take
but it's
pictures
like,
of take pictures of, like, the final product, save that, and then you start posting your little
mm,
jobs, and then, like, poof, there's your portfolio.
yeah.
Now you're a makeup artist.
I
We're doing
just got
it.
to get some more training.
We're doing yeah, I mean, that's how you do it. You learn by doing it. I think just, like, watch other people's YouTube videos and, like, yeah, do your friends and
Yes.
take pictures. Did you hear about this? That Fauci personally vouched for Santa, that he did in fact get a booster shot and he is ready for Christmas. This bothers me so
Ah,
much. Santa Claus
I hope
is
that's
coming.
satire. I feel like that's satire.
This is Yahoo
It
life.
it looks like satire to me. Yeah, it's Yahoo, but it looks like it's satire because what? Santa isn't even real.
I know, but, like, I hate that this is out there. Hopefully, there's no kids watching. If there are kids watching, he's very much real. Um, Santa Claus is coming to town, and he's boosted. Dr. Anthony Fauci, the chief medical advisor to Joe Biden, said he is ready to Santa's ready to dole out presents to kids around the world after receiving his booster shot. First of all, like, what were we
What
saying
in the
last year?
world?
That Santa is immune to COVID. Oh, now he's boosted? I hate this because if, like, a kid is
That's
watching this
funny.
on the TV or something, they're gonna be like, "Oh, like, kids don't need to be worrying about Santa's immunity.
Mhm.
Santa has already great innate immunity," Fauci told the paper ahead of the Christmas holiday. This year, he is even more protected because he has been fully vaccinated and boosted. It's like, yeah, I know Santa's overweight, he's dealing with some comorbidities, but again, Santa does not need a vaccine. We can't
That's
have Santa
absolutely crazy.
coming,
He's
down with
crazy.
heart problems suddenly. Santa is also exempt from travel restrictions and testing requirements. Like, how worked up do you have to get your kids? That's what bothers me is that these parents that are germophobic, that are brainwashed, that are like obsessed with COVID, they then pass that on to their kids. And then like the fact that we even need something like this, Fauci feels the need to go
People
out
are
and
crazy.
it is
People are
crazy.
crazy because it's just gone to the extreme.
Yeah. Let's just say, like, no, Santa's exempt. Let's leave it at that.
Mm-mm.
We don't. And again, Fauci is such an egomaniac. He needs to be constantly in the spotlight. So of course he's going to take every opportunity to spread his word and be like, oh no, he's vaccinated. Ugh. No,
Oh my goodness.
he's good.
Wow.
Santa's good. Oh right, and they're like, oh, does Santa need a vax passport? No, he flies over everything.
I don't need a big fat man coming in my house anyways.
Yeah,
Sneaking in
really?
and giving me, I don't even need that anyway. So I don't even care if he's vaccinated or not.
Right, right. That's true. Well, I feel like, how did you do you remember how you found out Santa wasn't real? Or did you?
I grew up Christian, so we were always taught Jesus is the reason for the season, not Santa. So I tried to when I was little, like get with the trend of Santa this, Santa that, but I knew Santa wasn't real ever since I was little. So the only thing I thought was real was the Tooth Fairy.
Oh, yeah, you were like, "I'm gonna start pulling out adult teeth if it means I'm getting paid."
Yes.
Yeah.
My dad tried, or my mom tried to put the dollar under the pillow, and I'm like, oh, the Tooth Fairy bought me $1
Aw.
or a quarter or something.
There was a brief time that I was told that Jesus and Santa were working together, but
What?
I couldn't quite. Yeah, I was like,
Uh-uh.
Jesus is, busy answering prayers, and so he hired Santa. It didn't make sense to me. I found on my I was like in the city today in New York, just in this I love to waste time at like card stores and maybe buy knickknacks I don't need, but I saw, let me see if I can share this. So I saw these cards that were in this. It was a paper source card store. Oh no, I have to log in.
Ah.
Son of a
Let's see if you can.
it was, and I took a story. Oh no.
Oh no,
All
not
right.
unusual
Oh
activity.
God. I'm like not usually on this computer. Well, all right, I'll spoil the surprise. So it was basically just like there were these cards that were like COVID Christmas cards. It was like there was like a Christmas tree covered in masks. There was a hand sanitizer. It was like they called it the
What?
Santitizer. Like it was, they were COVID themed
No, these
Christmas
people are
cards for
crazy.
sale. And I was like, again, these people where COVID is their whole personality.
These
They
people are
love it.
crazy. They're crazy. This is for people who don't have social lives, and
I
they
really
just
think
obsess
so.
over this. This is annoying. This is getting on my nerves.
It is annoying because, like, there's so many people who are waiting for, like, a "Ba, ba, 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 take your mask off," and it's never coming because why would they give up control?
No, this is why I need my own business because I just can't.
You can't handle it. You're like,
No, and I'm like, I'm just starting my life. Why is all of this happening when I'm just trying to start my life? I'm just trying to live
"Oh,
my life, start my life, you know?
true." How do you think babies feel? They're like, "We don't
Oh
even know what's going
no.
on."
They don't even know what normal is anymore.
Yeah, but you know what? It's like, I think, I don't know, I'm hopeful still. We gotta keep fighting, and I think we're making some progress. I think wasn't something dropped just today or yesterday? 'Cause I'm in New York, so I'm always watching, like, the
God bless
mandates.
you. I'm in Florida. God bless you.
Whew. Say hi to my dad. He's over there in Naples.
Oh wow, living
Maybe
his
he's
life.
your sugar daddy. My mom died
Oh
3
my
years ago. Yeah.
gosh. No, sugar
Um,
daddies want sugar. I just can't do all of that.
true,
I can
true.
send foot
Ugh.
pics, but
I'll see if my dad wants some foot pics. No.
oh my
I'm just kidding.
goodness.
He the first woman he dated after my mom died looked exactly like my mom. It was just another short blonde lady, and I was like,
Oh
"Well,
wow.
alright, I guess he's got a type." It was very weird. It's like, I was so conflicted about it, and I wanted to be like, "You're not my mom," but I was like, "I'm a grown ass woman, I
You're
can't
not
yell
my
that out."
dad.
Yeah. Charisse, I'm so proud of you. I feel like you have such a good head on your shoulders.
Thank you.
You have your shit together, like, so much for a young person.
And I don't even feel like it. Like I really stress over, oh my gosh, like I don't have my life together. I'm not making the money I want. I don't have a man. I'm still
Oh,
living with my mom right now. I'm still living with
that's
my mom.
okay. You're
I'm like,
saving money.
Lord, when is my time coming?
It's coming. It's just building up. You're just like, "It's good.
I'm
Live
ready to
with
really
your
live my
mom
life.
as long as you can." For real.
It's
That's
annoying here. And you see,
Oh,
if you heard the noise in the background, that's because I live with my siblings too, and they just keep moving around. And my mom just stepped out and she had to unlock the door. So
yeah.
noisy.
You need to be like, "Everyone be still for the next hour. I'm doing a
Exactly. They don't
thing."
get it though.
Yeah. It's okay. Stay home. It gets better. You're in your, like, building up stage right now. I forgot
I'm
to do
sick of this
my
building up. I'm so over
Oh,
it.
you're like, "I'm ready to go." You're like, "Let's make it happen. Where's my man?"
Somebody take care of me.
Oh, coming. Oh, quick shout out to our sponsor, Cushy Dreams. Join the men and women who are sick of vapes and gummies and want to smoke their CBD. There's different indica sativa blends like Hustle, Create, Relax, Dream, Peace, Energy. Join the men and women who are sick of vapes and gummies and just want to smoke that CBD like I do. It helps me with my anxiety for real. I really enjoy the pre-rolls here. They also have bud in tins. I think it ships to all 50 states. They do a lot of lab tests to ensure compliance and purity. Go to cushydreams.com. That's KUSHY dreams.com and use promo code CMP to get 20% off plus free shipping. Pew, pew, pew. All right. That was smooth. Okay. Yeah, are you a Gen Z person?
Yeah, but I don't claim
Technically?
Gen Z. Gen Z is crazy.
Yeah. What's the biggest problem with Gen Z?
They're all followers. I don't see a leader. I don't see much leaders. They're all followers, especially when it comes to social media. They want to do what everybody else wants to do. No, I'm gonna make my own lane and make my own way. Stop being a follower and be a leader.
Who do you feel like they're kind of like just mindlessly following? Celebrities?
Celebrities, yeah, celebrities, music artists, the typical, you know.
Yeah, it's typical. It's kind of just like brainless.
And
But
these
like we
crazy
said,
young politician people, AOC.
oh, AOC, my God, what a creation she was.
Yuck.
She is just like, and this thing is like, if she wasn't cute, I feel like nobody would pay attention to her.
She's not really that cute to me. Maybe that's just me though.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Some people find her cute. Just I sometimes read a lot of internet comments. Okay, you did a video called The Rise and Fall of BET. Explain what that is
Yes.
about.
Yes, so BET was originally founded by Mr. Johnson, and basically it was first started to really uplift the Black community and put a lot of positive images out for us and inspire us. But I know it got sold to Viacom, which is like a white company, white owned company, and now BET is just really toxic. You see a lot of violent shows on there. You see a lot of music videos that are not really promoting what the Black community really is, and it's just not being really beneficial to us anymore. I don't really watch BET like that. I grew up on, I don't know if you ever heard of Medea, but that's like the only thing
Yeah,
and I'm like,
so wholesome.
Medea's okay. But that's all they play. They play Medea and stuff. They always play Medea. Like, oh Lord. But I don't really like BET anymore because it's toxic to me, and it's not what it was originally made to do
When did
anymore.
this change happen?
It happened like in the 20th. I mean, not the 20th. Yeah,
Maybe the
the 20
2010s or the early aughts, like sort of the early 2000s or
because this is what the 21st century, right? This is the
uh
21st century
I
or the
should know this. Yeah, this is
so it
21st
happened in the
century.
20th century, like I think towards the 80s and 90s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, like a slow burn.
Yes.
There's a lot of toxic like media out there. There's a lot of toxic like
Sadly,
culture.
sadly, I don't really watch the news like that. Like I've been on news. I
You've
don't
been
really
on the
watch the
news.
news.
How was
I
that?
don't
How
really
was
watch the news
going
like
on
that.
Newsweek and Fox and Friends? Were you so nervous? I would be so nervous.
Yes, it was nerve wracking being in front of millions of people, and I really got a lot of critiques from people close to me saying I need to fix this and I need to fix that. And I'm like, okay, I understand your critiques, but give me a break. It was
It's
my
also your
first
first
time
time.
being on national television in front of millions of people. Like, you can only know what it feels like when you're in my shoes.
Yeah.
I appreciate the critiques, you know, and I have improved, I guess, in a way because I do listen to the critiques, but it's only so much you can say as well. I only got around 2 to 3 minutes, and I really wanted to say more, but I
Quick.
couldn't. And then it's like you have to go along with the type of questions that they're asking you. So I have some followers who got upset with me because I didn't mention certain things. But it's just like,
What did they
okay,
want you to mention?
I have a lot of Black followers who are for reparations, and they wanted me to mention reparations on Fox News and Newsmax. That's what it's called, Newsmax. And I like depending, I couldn't really.
It wasn't in the flow. It wasn't, like,
Yeah,
relevant at the
it's like you
time.
have to
Yeah.
flow, and it would just be so random for me to say reparations.
Yeah, and also
I'm like,
reparations. Bye.
and like that would be
Yeah.
really weird and unprofessional. So
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, you wanna do as good a job as you can so that they'll have you back, and there will definitely be opportunities to bring that up in the
right.
future.
I personally, I don't think I did my best because I do get nervous sometimes, and I start like either stuttering or I'll repeat something. It's just something I have to work on. I deal with anxiety issues sometimes, but I'm working on it. I think I did my best when it came to
Yeah.
both of those. Hopefully, they invite me back on to commentate again so I can get better. We'll
Yeah,
see.
it's the kinda thing where, like, you only get better through doing it, and, everybody's first time is gonna be not their best.
Right.
It's just like with comedy and all things in life. Okay, I'm just scrolling through the chat to make sure I didn't miss any questions for Charisse. Do, do, do. Okay. Respect to Charisse for coming on the podcast, though. I was talking trash on some of her points, but happy to see her come on and
Oh
express her
Lord.
points no matter how wrong they are. Oh, wait, I thought that was a good
Okay.
positive comment. Whoops.
Okay.
Hey. No, I'm seeing love in the chat
Yeah.
and hopefully some future boyfriends. Charisse,
You gotta have
where
money though.
you have
Okay,
to have
money.
money. How and do you have a height requirement?
Okay, I'm 5'7", so I would like
Okay.
someone that's taller than me. But I mean, if you have all the other values I want, I don't mind you being like an inch taller or like the same height. But I do like wearing heels. So if you want me to be Kamora Lee Simmons and you be Russell Simmons, that's fine. If you
Okay.
want me to be Tyra Banks and you be one of her boyfriends that was shorter, that's fine. As long as I get to wear my red bottoms.
Good. That sounds like a good plan. Are you feeling okay, so you're in Florida, so perhaps not. Are you feeling like the pressure for getting vaccinated is letting up in Florida? Like, are people just not
I never really felt pressured here because we were always lax. And I'm a completely healthy human being. I go to the gym, I eat right, so it's just like, what do I need it for? I haven't never gotten COVID. I've been tested like 3 or 4 times, and I
wow.
haven't gotten it.
I had it. It was no big deal. I was so underwhelmed. I, like, actually thought it was cramps at first, and then I thought that my body aches were because I had worked out for the first time in a long time, and it wasn't until I had, like, a 3-day headache where I was like, "Okay, something's up." But it was like, I think I've had hangovers that are worse. Ugh.
Oh,
But
I've never been hungover.
well, the night is still young.
I don't know if I want to be though. It's just like I don't really like drinking liquor. I don't like the taste.
Yeah, good for you. I don't know. Have you ever tried a Cosmo?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Get back to me
Really?
after you've had that. That's pretty good. That's basically like a
A
juice box. I'm not
Cosmo,
trying to give you a drinking
a juice
problem, but
box.
it's good. It's like fruity. Cosmo's like it's just vodka and cranberry juice and
I hate cranberry
um,
juice. That would be so nasty to me. Ugh.
okay. Well, I have to find a drink for you. All right. Charisse, you're a doll. Thank you for coming on.
Thank
Where
you.
can people follow you and keep up with what you're doing?
Yes, you can find me on Instagrams, Charisse Lane, CharriseLane, Twitter, Charisse J Lane, YouTube, Charisse Lane, Facebook, Charisse Lane, TikTok, Charisse Lane. I keep getting banned on TikTok though. They keep taking my
TikTok.
videos
Good for
down.
you. You got banned?
I keep getting my videos keep getting taken down, and I was just let back on the creator front, and now they banned me until June. So I'm not
Over
making any
what?
money from TikTok. I posted a video basically react. I didn't even say anything. I just reacted to a meme that said, "Pregnancy has no gender," and I was like,
Yes, it does though.
and I walked away, and I'm like, "What in the world?" Because that's so insulting to me as a woman.
You didn't say anything, you just made a face,
I just looked, and I walked away.
and
But
that got
the song, I
taken
use a
down?
song. I use a song and it said, I'm a crackhead, I'm a crackhead, eh. And then I guess that's why I got banned.
Oh my god, though, that
I'm
seems
like, when it
not a lot.
in the picture, it was some pregnant something and it didn't have any boobs, but it had this big stomach. I'm just like, what?
Oh. Oh my gosh, yeah, I've never really I think I have a TikTok account, but I'm not really on it because Trump told me not to go on it. It's
Uh,
China. Okay. Maybe I'll give it another whack. All right, thanks, Charisse. It was so great to meet you and talk
Thank
to you, and
you.
I'm so proud of you, and you know what? It's all coming together. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, chat. Until next time, guys. Bye.